Hello everyone, it's great to have so many of you joining us today for our second webinar of the series. I can see we've got some returnees and new attendees, which is great. Today's webinar will build on from the webinar last week, where we heard about HS2 and how we will be building and procuring the services throughout the supply chain. So CompeteFor is the platform used by HS2 and the contractors in our supply chain to advertise opportunities. So the use of CompeteFor by our contractors is mandated by HS2 to ensure that we have that open and fair procurement process and that all businesses can see the opportunities and have that opportunity to bid for work. So we hope you find today's session helpful. To introduce myself to those new to the webinar series, my name is Victoria. I am the Business Engagement Manager at HS2 Limited and will be hosting and facilitating the Q&A session today. I'm joined today by three guest speakers from BIP Solutions. We have Daniel, David and Claire, who will be guiding us through getting the most out of the platform CompeteFor, so you can ensure that your business sees and is ready for any of the potential opportunities within the HS2 supply chain. So before I pass over to Daniel to start us off, I wanted to run through a few general points. So we know you're busy, so this webinar will be kept to 45 minutes. There's lots of information to take in, and a recording and a copy of the presentation and key links and information will be sent out following the event to all attendees. So IT troubles are something I'm sure we've all experienced at one point or another during the current situation. So I'd advise that if you do become disconnected or have any trouble with sound during the event, if you simply rejoin the event, and you will then rejoin where you left off so you won't actually miss anything. We've muted all attendees' microphones, but you can still participate through asking questions via the panel on the right-hand side of your screen. You can ask any questions at any point during the session. I'd encourage you to get your questions in early, and also you can like the questions of other attendees, so we can try and cover the most popular ones that come through. So any questions that we don't have time to answer will be noted down, and an FAQ document will be circulated following the event, so all questions will get an answer. I'd also encourage you, if you haven't already done so, to sign up to the next Work With Us Wednesday webinar, where you can hear about the free learning resources and certifications that you can gain using the Supply Chain Sustainability School, all of which will help your business in kind of setting up your profile so that you can successfully bid for work on HS2. So now, without further delay, I will pass over to Daniel.
Thank you, Victoria. Good morning, everyone. My name is Daniel McElwain, and I am the Commercial Manager for CompeteFor. So before we begin, I'd just like to set out the plan for this webinar. I'm going to start us off with a quick introduction. I'll then hand over to David Robertson, our Contract Manager, who will give you an overview of the platform and explain how the service works. We also have Claire Young on the call, who is our CompeteFor Customer Relationship Manager, who will run through a demonstration later on. I'll then wrap up before going to a Q&A for anyone that has questions at that point. So we really hope that you find this session useful and that it helps you all to learn more about using the CompeteFor service, find, bid for, and hopefully win promising opportunities in your local area. So just to give you a bit of background to the service, we actually all work for a company called BIP Solutions, who currently operate the government system on behalf of Transport for London. So BIP have offices in Glasgow and Manchester, and have been operating for over 35 years, bringing buyers and suppliers together, which is essentially the sole purpose of CompeteFor. So we work in partnership with major purchasing authorities such as HS2, and we help thousands of suppliers of all shapes and sizes to win contracts. So to give you an example, over 200,000 businesses are currently registered on the CompeteFor platform. In excess of 16,000 business opportunities have been made available, and 75% of them have gone to small or medium-sized enterprises. And interestingly, 2/3 of contracts awarded to CompeteFor suppliers are awarded to those that are located outside of London. There are really good examples there of how we are aligned to the key HS2 objective to raise awareness of opportunities for SME businesses located near to the line of HS2 route. And so we are here today to help you moving forward to navigate their supply chain and maximise potential opportunities. At the end of the call, I'll go through some of those live opportunities in more detail. But for now, I'd like to hand over to my colleague David to talk you through the service in more detail.
Good morning, everyone, and thanks for joining us today. I'll dive straight into the presentation that we've got for you. CompeteFor's goal is to connect the buyers and suppliers of major infrastructure projects. This presentation will go over the benefits and features of the service, and then talk about the benefits the buyers can get from using the CompeteFor service and how it can engage and support SMEs. CompeteFor was started for the Olympic Games almost 10 years ago as a way to help the large capital spend of major infrastructure projects flow down and benefit small businesses across the UK. One of the major projects that is partnered with CompeteFor, and the reason we're all here today, is HS2. CompeteFor has been used by HS2 to promote its opportunities to a wider audience since 2017, which is also when work in phase 1 of the project began. This has resulted in almost 600 opportunities appearing on CompeteFor for suppliers to bid for and win, when normally these kind of opportunities would go directly into an organisation's own supply chain and not openly advertised. This in turn helps to improve the capability and capacity of these small businesses, leading to economic development and job creation across the country. As mentioned by my colleague Daniel, CompeteFor service is operated on behalf of and through Transport for London. Key objectives of the system. The system aims to provide SMEs with the same benefits that come from major government procurement projects. These include transparency for opportunities, fair opportunities for all, innovation, value, and the best possible outcome for buyers, improving the capability and capacity of businesses throughout supply chains, ensuring supplier diversity and community benefits, and providing supply chain visibility. This slide provides an overview of how major infrastructure projects can be broken down into a number of supply chain opportunities that can be posted on CompeteFor. In this slide, we can see a few different things going on. Right at the top, we have our buying organisation. These tend to be government organisations or projects such as HS2. Then we have our Tier 1 organisations. These are the likes of your top 10 construction companies in the UK. While these organisations are considered suppliers to the buying organisation, as soon as they begin looking to subcontract their supply chains, they become buyers and suppliers at the same time. For example, supplying to HS2 and buying from their supply chain. Then we have our Tier 2s. Typically, these are also very large contractors with their own deep supply chains. CompeteFor will allow them to increase the value they experience throughout their own chains. And finally, the local SMEs across Tier 3 onwards. These will be your local small businesses with only a handful of employees. While they will only be able to support small parts of the project, their input will help them grow their own capability and capacity. Moving on to supplier features. The main steps for supplier registration include a lightweight registration page looking for an email address and password, a business profile to include all information required to bid for opportunities, email alerts to ensure that you do not miss any opportunities related to your business activities, the opportunity to respond to opportunities quickly and easily within the system, made easier with the business profile that pulls through information automatically, and free research supply chain opportunities in your local area. The supplier benefits from using CompeteFor is that it provides awareness of business opportunities across a variety of sectors and industries. Standardised information is stored within the supplier profiles, making responding to opportunities a quicker process, and sector-specific email alerts advising suppliers of relevant contract opportunities. So once the supplier is registered and set up their business profile, the process for responding to opportunities is quick and easy. Once you've responded, the buyer will create a short list of suitable suppliers that can be pulled into a traditional procurement process. Once the contracts have been awarded, an award will be posted onto CompeteFor. This slide shows an example of the types of opportunity that are open on CompeteFor at any one time. This is just a snapshot of what you can expect to see. My colleague Daniel will take you through the live opportunities available on CompeteFor later in the webinar. Due to the nature of infrastructure projects, the number and variety of opportunities that are appearing at any one time can be very much cyclical. For that reason, it is crucial that you check the portal on a regular basis for appropriate opportunities for your organisation, as well as setting up your email alerts. As seen on the screen, the opportunity search function shows the opportunity name, the notice type, the response deadline, estimated contract value, whether you've been tracked or you've matched, the opportunity posted date, and whether it's accessible through CompeteFor or Supply2Gov. I would reiterate at this stage that all CompeteFor opportunities are freely accessible to view and bid for. This slide shows you some of the organisations that use CompeteFor to support their projects. As you can see, one of the main ones being HS2. You will also notice that there are multiple of HS2's tier 1s that are also partnered with CompeteFor. Just to give you an idea from the other side of things, so from the buyer, the basic steps for the buyer through the portal is for them to register. They would then create their notice, they would evaluate, they would shortlist, and they would award. So features of CompeteFor for users include access to a large and continually growing database of new potential suppliers, automated reporting tailored to an organisation specific targets and objectives. So the benefits from the buyer side is that it streamlines the selection process for them with the automatic scoring, dynamic questionnaires, and shortlisting and awarding. It saves them time and cost in sourcing suppliers. It enables competition throughout their supply chain, ensuring value for money. Ensures quick and easy to manage responses to contract opportunities. And ultimately, CompeteFor is designed to complement existing procurement processes. Therefore, we would recommend that you register on the free-to-use opportunities portal easily found in the URL on your screen, or by typing CompeteFor into Google. Ensure that you create and publish your business profile, as you will be unable to respond to opportunities in the portal until you do so. Use the search functionality to find appropriate opportunities for your organisation. Put some time into creating a useful alert profile, ensuring that you won't miss out on opportunities when they are posted onto the portal. Ultimately, bid for and win opportunities, and hopefully we'll be seeing you supply to HS2 in the near future. I'll now pass you over to Claire, who will take you through a demo of the system.
This is our CompeteFor homepage. CompeteFor is a free-to-use service. It is a supply chain tool, not a procurement tool. CompeteFor is the legacy of the London 2012 Games and is owned by Transport for London. On our homepage, we have our register and login buttons, along with our partners' logos, which you can see scrolling across the main page. If you click on our partner logo, you will be directed to their project microsite. This will show you in some depth details on our partner's project and will also show you their current opportunities that are available. Registering for CompeteFor is a simple and easy process which should only take a couple of minutes. Each organisation is only required to complete one registration, as you will be able to add multiple users. When registering, you will be required to add some details such as organisation name, address, and email address. You will then need to create a password, which along with the email address will become your new login details. After registration on CompeteFor, you would then log in with your email address and password, and your next step will be to complete your business profile. The business profile you will find at the top left-hand corner. Like the registration process, you will only be required to complete one business profile per organisation. This step may take around 30 minutes as it requires some more in-depth details. We do suggest the more information that you input to the profile, the more you will get out of the system. All mandatory fields, indicated with an asterisk, must be completed before you can publish your profile and be business ready and therefore able to use the system fully. This includes our first 6 tabs, which must all be completed. On our 6th tab is our marketing information. We do suggest that you put as much information in here as you can, as once you are fully published, users will be able to see this on the system. To add additional users, you would go to My Organisation and then Users. Here you will be able to add the new user by clicking on Invite New User and entering the email address of the person you would like to add. They will then receive a link to create their new login details. Once logged into CompeteFor, you will then see some supplier tools under Supplier Activities. The first of these being Email Alerts. This will allow you to set your email preferences as to which emails you would like to receive from us at CompeteFor. On here, you can also set your alert profile. This will allow you to tailor the type of opportunities that you will receive on your daily alerts. By doing this, you're ensuring sight of all relevant opportunities for your organisation. This can be set by service category, by organisation, area in regions, and the nature of the contract, whether this be services, supplies, or works. One important selection under keywords is any of these and all of these. If you select all of these, you will only receive emails with opportunities with all of the keywords. If you select any of these, you will receive opportunities with any of the keywords. You must also separate each keyword with a comma and a space, otherwise the system will look for this as one word. The next step is our supplier search. Here you can search for the supplier by name, business, category, and area. Once you have hit search, this will then bring up a list of suppliers from your selection along with their website. If you then click on one of the selected suppliers, it will give you their organisation details and also marketing information which you have completed on your business profile. You can also use this to ensure that you have the same selection of business categories as others in your field, and also to search for suppliers to complete a joint bid for an opportunity. Next, we have My Tracked Opportunities. My Tracked Opportunities will allow you to see any opportunities which you have chosen to track. And My Matched Opportunities will allow you to see any opportunities that match your set business criteria. CompeteFor will also allow you to manually search for opportunities by clicking on our Search Opportunity. Here you can search the system for open, closed, and awarded opportunities. There is also an advanced option. This will allow you to further define your search. Once you have selected to search your chosen opportunities, you will see a quick view of all the opportunities showing the response deadline date, estimated contract value, and opportunity posted date. You can hover over the name of the opportunity and it will give you a quick view with some information on the opportunity. Or you can select the opportunity name to see full details on that opportunity. At the bottom of each opportunity, there will be an option for Track It. If you select this, this will then put the opportunity details into your My Tracked opportunities. Here, you can also select the blue Respond button. This will then ask you to confirm that your profile is business ready. Once you have confirmed, it will take you to the buyer's questionnaire. Each question will have an answer drop-down box for you to select the most appropriate answer to your organisation. Some of these answers may be a yes, no, and some may be multiple choice. Once you have answered all the questions, at the bottom you would continue to the next step, which will also ask you for a supplier statement, and then click on Submit. Now, CompeteFor does pride itself on being a transparent system. With this, if you go back into your opportunity search and go to Awarded, you can see the opportunities which have been awarded. Now, if you click on the opportunity that you want to view, and then scroll to the bottom and click on View Results, this will then show you the opportunity name, the opportunity awarded date, the supplier who was awarded the opportunity, along with the contract value that was awarded. Only this will show when it has been input by the buyer, and other suppliers who were shortlisted onto the system. When you register for CompeteFor, you are registering and become both a buyer and a supplier. Therefore, there are some buyer activities tools here as well. This will allow you to search supplier, add an opportunity, and it will also allow you to manage your opportunities. If this is something that you come across and you would like to see more on, please feel free to contact me and I can certainly do a demonstration. This will help if you have any opportunities that you're having to subcontract out. That's all from me today, so I will pass back to Daniel, and any questions, happy to help at the end.
Thank you, Claire. So after this webinar, we recommend, if you have time, to go along to the HS2 CompeteFor website. You will see that we currently have opportunities live on there, varying from, for example, operating catering services at the new Old Oak Common Station, to cleaning services across the line, to delivering facilities management. This is in addition to delivery of construction works, obviously, such as civils and contestable works, in addition to providing construction materials. So it's all online at CompeteFor.com and go to the HS2 portal. So across services, works and supplies, hopefully you will see that CompeteFor provides a picture of the supply chain operating to deliver HS2 on time and on budget. And actually, following on from Claire's point on the open, transparent nature of CompeteFor, you'll hopefully have seen her show the tab where she demonstrated how to see suppliers that have recently been awarded work in the supply chain. So you're welcome to obviously use this functionality to see who has been recently awarded contracts. And then you can use a business development approach to proactively contact these companies to see if they plan to subcontract any work. And we know that this has worked quite well for other companies in the past. So to wrap up, today we have taken you through a short introduction to CompeteFor, explaining the background to the free service. David then took you through an overview of the platform, explaining how it works in more detail. And my colleague Claire then just delivered a short demonstration on the service, showing you how to register on the website for free, how to create, publish your business profile, how to search for opportunities, how to create an alert profile to automate your searches, and how to respond to opportunities. Claire then also showed you how you can also use the system as a buyer. Should you be interested in subcontracting opportunities yourself, you'll then be provided with exactly the same set of tools that HS2 currently use for optimizing value from your own supply chain So once you've had a chance to log in and register, you'll see that the service provides a vibrant forum for buyers and suppliers to work together. It's focused on facilitating economic and community development in your local area where HS2 is being built. So future support from us. So as part of our ongoing CompeteFor engagement service to HS2, we will continue to promote the use of CompeteFor to yourselves. So watch out for us. Watch out for us at future events in your region. We're also on hand at any time to train, support, and embed CompeteFor within your organisation. So please get in touch via the contact details on the screen should you want to learn more information on this service. So to summarise, we've demonstrated today our core aim to open up the HS2 supply chain to the local business community. Hopefully you can be part of the successful businesses awarded the exciting opportunities on this project, and we wish you the best of luck. Finally, I'd like to thank everyone for their time on the call today, and I'd now like to hand back over to Victoria to host the Q&A.
Brilliant. Thank you all. I think that's given us a really great overview and some really helpful pointers in there. So we've had lots of questions come through. Before I throw some questions at our speakers and guests today, I've seen that a couple have come through around the types of opportunities that HS2 are advertising on CompeteFor. So just to confirm that all our contractors, our tier 1 contractors, are mandated to use CompeteFor to advertise their opportunities, and that is then progressed through the supply chain. So you should see opportunities to work with their contractors and their subcontractors come through CompeteFor, and that's on all sorts of disciplines. So it's not just related to the civils work. There'll be the stations contracts on there, as well as the smaller opportunities for SMEs and local businesses as well. So for the first question I want to pick up is that we've had a few questions around registering for CompeteFor. So if you are already registered for CompeteFor, do you have to register separately for HS2 opportunities, or once registered, will they be able to see those opportunities?
Hi Victoria. With regards to registration, you won't need to have a separate registration for HS2. All opportunities on CompeteFor will be on your current registration. It is important to ensure, as I showed in the video, that you update your email alert. You can add HS2 as one of your keywords, and that will ensure that all HS2 opportunities will come through. Just ensure that you define your email alert as much as you can to ensure that you get all relevant opportunities for your organisation. You can also see all HS2 opportunities on HS2's microsite on the front page of CompeteFor.
Brilliant, thank you. And that, I think that ties in nicely to one of the most popular questions we've had today, is that some of the people who've been already using CompeteFor have found that they are still kind of missing out on seeing some of the opportunities that are coming through from their tailored alerts. So is there any advice that you can give to businesses to help reduce the risk of that happening?
Yes, of course. One of the options that I would say is to go on and actually search for opportunities that have maybe closed or been awarded. You can then see some of the keywords that are being used and ensure that they are within your own email alert, just any that are most common. You can also search on the actual business categories and ensure that you've got all those business categories set up on your alert as well. That will allow you to get a lot more through from your account.
Brilliant, thank you. So the next question is around when opportunities are publicised which might have multiple disciplines. Are these only awarded to an organisation that can deliver all the elements, or is there opportunities for smaller SMEs to express their interest in delivering part of that work? So for example, it could be groundworks and surfacing as part of the larger contract.
So within CompeteFor, there is an option where you can actually select a supplier to partner up with to actually bid on these opportunities. So there is an option on CompeteFor where you can actually find another supplier to then partner up with to take on that opportunity.
Yeah, and just following up on that, Victoria, to my point on looking at what opportunities have been awarded and then proactively approaching the company to see if they're subcontracting any work. So I see there was a question on how to do that. So we can certainly follow up after this call with some more detailed guidance to see what work is available and means to partner on that.
Brilliant, thank you. I think the other questions is there a way that you can filter contract opportunities based on area? So if you're only interested in anything that's within a certain locality, is there a way that you can filter out some of the contracts that might be too far afield for your business?
So again, just on your email alert, there is a section where you can set your criteria via region. You can also do this in the advanced option when you do go into opportunity search, and you can set it by region as well.
Brilliant, thank you. So the next question, it links to what you just kind of picked up on there, Daniel, is there a way for businesses of a similar nature to yours to where you can kind of get in touch with them and talk to them and kind of network around the possibilities of going in for a joint bid on a contract opportunity?
Yeah, so I think that's just following on from Claire's previous answer. So there is a partnership or a way to team up on CompeteFor, which we're happy as part of our engagement service. If you want to approach us on the details on the screen, we can show you how to do that. So whether or not that's a consortium or just someone that's prime contracting and subcontracting the work, we can certainly show you how to do that on the system, and then you can co-bid for work, so we can pick that up with you.
In terms of that question, it's very important that you fill out your marketing profile within the business profile, because that's the only way other companies are able to see what you provide, what you do. So in terms of filling out the business profile, the marketing section isn't mandatory. So the more information you put on that allows you to then mix and find out what other companies are doing. So we'd recommend that you fill out as much information on your business, and you can upload pictures, etc., to that section of the business profile.
Brilliant, thank you. So I think that links into, we've had a question around, is there any kind of further training that you can offer, whether it's online or otherwise, for kind of using CompeteFor and going into some of that detail and the specifics for businesses?
Yeah, so I can answer that one. So we do have a dedicated help desk email, which sort of was on the previous slide, in the recording of this webinar, and that also has a contact number along with the feedback form, as well as a help section with top tips for suppliers and step-by-step FAQs on how to use the system. So we can provide these details after the webinar. As I introduced, Claire is one of our customer relationship managers, so she provides ongoing supplier engagement support on behalf of HS2, and this usually involves help via email and the phone, focusing on main features, benefits of CompeteFor, instructions on how to use it, how to register, etc. So we please get in touch. It works both ways. We want you to be engaging with the system and using it, and yeah, we look forward to working with you all.
Brilliant, thank you. So the next question is around kind of accreditations and requirements that businesses might need in order to kind of see opportunities. So is there any kind of requirements that CompeteFor set in order for businesses to be able to access some of the opportunities that are being advertised?
So once you're completely registered, you will be able to see all opportunities on the system. You won't be able to access any of them until you've completed your business profile. So the business profile is the only part that CompeteFor say that you must do to be able to go in and view fully and respond to the opportunities. Within the business profile, it will ask for some in-depth detail, including organisation information, policy and insurance information, financial, ownership and employee profiles. So that will ask for quite a bit of information. That is the only part on the system that you need to fully complete to be able to then go on and view and respond to the opportunities.
Brilliant, thank you. So I think the key there is that there's always going to be opportunities available and visible to all organisations, and then within those contracts that's set, there will be potentially requirements, but it does not stop you from kind of seeing those and being able to prepare your business and go away and get anything that you might need for that particular contract. So the other question we've had is around, is there a way that you can see what contracts have been awarded and then be able to kind of get in touch with that business if you've got a particular service or supply that might be able to help that business who has won that contract deliver on their piece of work?
Yeah, so I think we'd covered that. It might be helpful if you look back at the recording. I think Claire in her demonstration showed you the tab to go into to look at what suppliers that have been awarded contracts, and then in their profile, as David said, there will be contact details. Usually there's an email of the procurement officer involved, and you can contact people that way. So we can, if it's helpful, we can take some screenshots and share them after the call.
Brilliant, thank you. One of the questions we've got is around the difference between kind of CompeteFor as a platform and other web-based procurement portals, and which require registration, and how they kind of interact with each other.
David Robertson, I think, is it worth at this point talking about, because I know there is some integrations with CompeteFor and Delta eSourcing, which is a BIP e-procurement platform, and then there's also the Supply to Gov integration. I know there's been a question on that, so are you okay just to talk about the different integrations?
Yeah, so in terms of other portals, we're fully aware that there's some regional portals in certain specific areas. For instance, you have Birmingham has one that we're aware of that links back to CompeteFor. So there is some integrations with other regional portals within CompeteFor. All in terms of other ones, obviously we can't control every portal that's out there. What we do guarantee is that all HS2 ones all appear onto CompeteFor for you guys to have a look at. As Claire mentioned, there is also the microsite specifically if you're looking for HS2 opportunities to go directly onto that.
Every HS2 opportunity goes through the free to use platform that just CompeteFor. There is a wider business intelligence platform called Supply to Gov that BIP offer. There is a free kind of entry level option where you can use that to look at opportunities in your local area. And then above that, in terms of regional and national opportunities, there is a paid subscription service, but it is completely separate to CompeteFor. You'll see the odd button on the CompeteFor platform that will take you to that site. There's absolutely no obligation or need to use it for HS2 opportunities. So hope that answers your question.
Brilliant, thank you. So I think that's probably all we've got time to cover today. Any questions that we haven't had time to answer, we'll follow up on to make sure that everybody gets answers to their questions. And we'll also be sharing a recording of the session today as well to all attendees, so you can kind of look back and see what we were talking through. So finally, just to kind of finish up, just remember to register if you haven't already with the business engagement team, so we can make sure that we understand what your business has to offer and where you are. And also to obviously sign up for CompeteFor, so the link is on the slide, and also register for the next webinar. So this one will look at the ways that we can help you upskill and develop your business using the supply chain sustainability school with lots of the free resources that are available on there. So with that said, thank you very much for your time, and we'll now close the session.